When I grow my hair out, it's like yours.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I
used to grow it out. I'll show you a picture. Remember, Klopp, in college? I wonder why I got no chicks. And then I look back on those pictures, I'm like, that's why, man. Yeah, the Jew fro, it was not good. It was not good. I was like, I don't get it. Me and Klopp went down to Miami. We had a contest who could grow their hair out the longest, and we both grew. His was like down to here. He looked like a young Patrick Swayze.
Oh, nice.
Went down to Miami, no chicks. We couldn't figure it out. Oh, those were the days.
Good times.
Good times. Good times. I was about 260 with a Jew fro.
Look, what's up?
I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it rolling around in a RAV4 in Miami, hollering at chicks out the window. Hey.
You're like, what?
It didn't go well. We got 0.
Then you cut it off and everything started going.
Cut it off, got in shape, and started kicking some butt.
Well, you definitely are kicking butt. You definitely are kicking butt. Karyn Bryant with you for MMA Heat here with Brendan Schaub, hearing some good stories of his youth, his misspent youth with the Jew fro. That's fantastic. But Brendan, you have a big fight coming up, UFC 145 against Big Ben Rothwell, and you know, I was watching you train for a little bit, and you're always in shape, right?
Yeah.
You're not the kind of guy that doesn't come in shape. But do you think that's going to play a big factor in this fight?
I think so. I think.
You know where I'm going with that.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, looking at Ben's last fight, it was in Denver, so I think altitude played a little bit of part in that. Well, why he had such a bad performance. I expect him to come in better shape than this fight.
Yeah.
But even if he comes in better shape, it's still not going to match my pace or my my cardio. It's just not going to happen.
Well, we should say that was UFC 135, and he was fighting Mark Hunt.
Yes.
And he didn't win.
Yeah.
And those two, they looked gassed at the end of the first round.
True.
Pretty much.
True.
Pretty much. So you're from Denver, though. We should talk about this. So you're always training there. You're always conditioning.
Yeah. I'm from the Mile High City, so I'm used to elevation.
Yeah.
So it's at this level, any advantage you can get is huge. So come from high elevation to sea level is big. It's really big because I'm in shape for being at altitude.
Right.
So I come down here, I can go all day. Like the coach had to pull me back tonight. I would have went all night.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the philosophy of how hard you should train before a fight is what? I mean, so they really want you to just be slowing it down and taking it easy?
Yeah, kind of just like more explosive, shorter rounds, going through the game plan a little bit. If it were up to me, we'd still be training, but I guess that's why I pay these guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is the game plan against Ben? What do you think is going to be effective against him?
Man, just doing my thing, just going out there, being relaxed. Speed's gonna be a huge factor in this, and we mentioned the cardio issue. So just going out there, imposing my will, and it's gonna be a fun night.
So you started initially playing football and boxing some, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
So how do you think your boxing stands up to his?
Man, you get me in trouble with some of these questions. Man, so if he wants to box, it's gonna be a shorter night than we thought. I don't see him sitting there wanting to stand with me a lot. Boxing is definitely my strong point, but you know, Ben's a vet. I think this is his 40th fight.
Yeah.
This is mine, if you include the Ultimate Fighter, I think 15th fight. It's my 7th in the UFC, so I'm getting up there, but nowhere near 40.
Yeah.
So I keep getting these vets with their backs against the wall, and they're giving me some problems. So I expect the same out of Ben.
Now, I'm sure that you want to shake off the loss in Brazil.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah. That'd be nice. Yeah. And you talk about your boxing and that you've not been KO'd a lot in your life, right?
No.
So,
only twice. Out of 15, twice. So that's not bad.
Right, it's not bad.
0 would be better. But
did you learn to keep your hands up?
Yeah. Did you make any improvements? I hope so. Yeah, I hired a new boxing trainer, and man, we connect. His name's Jake Ramos, and man, we connect on a different level, I think, than a lot of other trainers I've had, and things are good. This camp, we started bringing pro boxers to spar with world-class boxers. So that's the kind of level I've been competing at, and I think it's going to pay off.
I remember reading the article in Tatami magazine about you, before that fight in Brazil, and you were talking a lot about how you really wanted to test yourself and prove yourself. Yeah. So even though it didn't go your way, what did you learn from that, though, and what did what was that experience like? Because I mean, you went into like seriously hostile territory.
And I asked for it. I asked for it to go down to Brazil. Man, I learned a ton in that fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of felt like it was me against the world, and it really is when you're fighting down in Brazil. I didn't get booed.
No.
I did some good stuff, and I was received well, but still, you're fighting Nogueira in Brazil. So I went down, and I kind of came flying out the gates. I was going to knock him out like he's some clown, and that's not the case when it's Antonio Nogueira.
Yeah.
So I learned from that. I learned that I'm best when I relax and I do my thing. I get warmed up, and I've never learned so much from a fight than that fight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that was such an emotion. That was stacked with that being his first fight in Brazil. I mean, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
You were a brave man for
True that.
You're a brave man.
Won't do that again. Yeah. Not going down there again. No. Just kidding. I love Brazil.
Yeah. Well, so this time now we're here in Athens, and I do want to back up a little bit and talk about the. We're not in Athens. We're in Atlanta. Athens is not far from here.
All right. You know better than me.
I've been here a few times. I know Athens. That's where Brian Bowles is from.
Gotcha.
REM and
I
stuff
think
like
Todd
that.
Duffy's from there, too. Yeah.
There you go. So, but I do want to talk about your camp. You just said you trained with a lot of pro boxers.
Yes.
But I also know you've been training with Shane Carwin.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Nate Marquardt?
Yep.
So let's talk about that. Shane is like he vanished.
Yeah.
He's been gone. I know he had to have surgery and everything, but how has the training been like with him, and how is he?
Yeah, Shane's good. It's like Shrek and Fiona. Like he got married, and then he's like living in the wilderness somewhere, and he doesn't have a phone, and it's hard to get a hold of him. No, he comes down when he can. He did have the back surgery and a neck surgery. And, his body's a little beat up, but he's been in there for this camp. He's been great. He's been in there helping me out. So I'm used to a big, strong guy.
Yeah.
There's no one stronger than Shane Carwin. There's just not. Yeah. So for me, it's been great. And, he's like an older brother to me. So it's been great with Shane.
Yeah. And the scene there in Denver, I mean, is the fight scene growing for you? I mean, I know there's a handful of other fighters and stuff there for you. Do you find that to be a good base for you? You don't travel for camp a little bit? Or?
Yeah. So this is the first camp where I hired a new head coach, and Lisa Bowling. He was my wrestling coach. And I told him we need to get things figured out because my Brazil camp was a little shaky. I actually went down to Brazil without a striking coach. I was that confident. I know, ridiculous. I'll take heat for that on Twitter or whatever. So I went down without a striking coach, and I paid a price, and that camp was not good. So after that, I met up with Jake Ramos. I found him, and he's trained, Devero Williamson, who's a top 10 heavyweight boxer, and started working with him, and things really changed around. And Lisa Bowling, for this camp, every Friday we did fight nights. So we had an open gym. We'd spar 3 rounds just like a fight, and, there'd be a crowd, and we flew in a guy every week, and Carwin was there, and we'd have these big guys going. So it was a great camp. This time it's been different.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys will see. Come Saturday, you'll see.
Now, also upstairs we met Lauren, is that right?
Lauren Lando.
Okay, we should tell people Lauren is also Tim Tebow's coach.
Yes.
So how did you get hooked up with him, and what has he done for you for this camp?
Yeah, I call Lauren the trainer of the stars.
Yeah.
He trains everyone. Yeah. And I got started with Lauren about 7 years ago playing football. I was getting ready for the NFL. Me and my buddy Joe Kloffenstein would drive down there from CU and work out with him to get ready for the combine. Mm-hmm. So I had a relationship with him forever, and then after I came off the Ultimate Fighter, I was like, I'm in the big leagues now, so I need to hire a strength conditioning coach. I was doing it myself. Hired Lauren. I was his first MMA guy. And now he has something like 22. Yeah. So things are good. And he works with Shane Carwin, Nate Marquardt, all the guys. So he's doing well. So
you still get the good deal rate though, right?
I better. Yeah, I get a discount.
Nice. Do you work with a mental coach too, or is he the type of guy that, just based on seeing the successes Tim Tebow has had, I don't know how many of his coaches are responsible for that too, but is he somebody, you talk about your confidence levels and ups and downs of your camp, do you work with a mental coach too? Or
I do, with Al Fuentes.
Yes, that's right. I didn't know you worked with Al, but we know Al. I know Al is here. Al also works with Rashad.
Yeah,
so.
That's how we got connected. Rashad's a buddy of mine, and whenever I need advice, I call Rashad. Yeah. And we started talking a little bit. I actually went down there to train last camp, not this camp, I stayed in Denver, but last camp we started talking, and he's like, man, you might want to talk to Al, and started working with him, and the guy's incredible.
He really is.
He's good.
I've had a session with him. And Al is one of those guys that when you see him, he's just very calming. And
exactly. We got done today. I was like, damn, man, where you been? Right? Let's do this more often. So he's been great.
And what do you think Rashad's chances are?
I like his chances.
Yeah.
I've trained with both guys, and John Jones is a once-in-a-lifetime fighter. Yeah. He's a guy who's, he's going to be tough to beat. If anyone can do it, it's Rashad. If Rashad can't do it, I don't know who's going to. But I know if you back Rashad up in a corner and you consider him the underdog, he's going to come out swinging, and he lives for this type of situation, and he's a big underdog. But I think he's going to do well.
I think he actually is mentally tougher than people are giving him credit for.
The toughest.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as mentally, Rashad, is he the biggest 205er? No. Is he the best wrestler? No. Best striker? Probably not. He goes out there and he wins, and Phil Davis is probably the best wrestler, in the UFC besides probably Johnny Hendricks, if you look collegiate level, and he out wrestled Phil Davis. So that's what kind of mindset Rashad has. So yeah, I think it's his biggest advantage in this fight.
What do you think about John coming up to your weight class?
I haven't heard that.
He's saying that it's, with his frame,
yeah,
he could do it.
He's big enough.
So,
he's tall enough.
He's saying he's still young. He could put on some beef over the years and come up.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Heavyweight's crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone's tough. So, whatever. The kid's such a talent. He's gonna do whatever he wants to do. I'm not worried about it.
And speaking of the weight class, you've been out there for a little while, and people are saying, you're a prospect and you've got, what it takes, and kind of wondering if you're going to be able to kick it.
To get over that hump. Tell me about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, how do you internalize that? Because there's a lot of, I feel like there's expectation on you, but that's kind of a good thing, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. If you're just a kind of a 500 guy, 3-3, or you get knocked out, get a knockout here, I wouldn't do this.
Right.
I would not do this. This sport, it's not worth it. For me, I want to be the best, and I want to compete against the best, and I think this fight's going to be kind of a coming out party for me. With this camp I've had a long layoff, 8 months by the time I get back in the cage.
Right.
So for me, that's a lot of time to get better, and I'm always training, so it's going to be good.
Nice. Well, when we were talking off camera that my husband is also from Denver.
Yeah, I knew I liked you guys for a reason.
I saw the "See You Buff" tattoo there, and I got to he's wearing his buff hat all the time. But I am from Boston, and I'm a Patriots fan. And I used to love to call up my father-in-law and razz him about the Broncos not doing so well. And now you've got Peyton Manning.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We were good with Tebow, and with Manning, I think it's gonna be a different story.
It is. I'm bummed. Lastly, I have to ask you: do you go to Casa Bonita?
I've been there once.
Oh, God.
I've been there once. It was a horrible experience. Horrible. First of all, when you go in, you have to eat the food. You can't go to the play area unless you eat the food.
Right.
So I filled up on sopapillas.
Yes,
sopapillas, the honey and the sopapillas. But the food is horrendous.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. You've seen the South Park episode.
Oh yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
For some people who don't know, it's this theme, quote-unquote, Mexican restaurant. It's like cafeteria, bad Mexican. Literally, you go through with
Think of the worst Mexican food you ever had, and then put like a real crappy theme park around it, and it's real dirty, and you have to eat the food to get into the theme park.
Exactly.
And it's not cheap either.
No,
it's not like real cheap
either. That's what I was thinking. It's like a $12, quote-unquote, burrito. That was the nastiest thing.
Horrible.
So you go through the cafeteria line, like you said, and you can't even get to see what then you get in there and it smells like mold.
Yeah, it's not good.
Because there's this water element with the thing.
Yeah, and I remember I went when I was a kid, and there was like this buff dude in a Speedo, jumping out. They have like cliff divers, and he was like this real buff, like Fabio looking dude jumping off the cliff doing flips. And I went there this last time. It's like some just fat, out of shape dude, like, all right, kids, like jumping in doing a cannonball. So it was a horrible experience.
It really is, and thank you for saying so, because every time I go back to visit his family, they're all
they want to go there.
Yes.
Oh my God.
People, you don't understand. It's disgusting.
Horrible. Probably the Denver people are gonna be like, you bastard. We love that place.
But if you've never seen the South Park episode, it really is.
It's great. It's great.
Well, Brendan, I want to thank you for taking the time. I know it's late, and you've been training and all, but you're looking great. I mean, you're looking fast. You look in shape. You look ready.
Ready to go.
That's how you feel,
right?
Ready
to go. Yep.
Awesome. Well, I hope that you do live up to the expectations.
I will.
That so many have put on you.
Yeah, right? I'll take the pressure.
Awesome. Well, have fun against Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Brendan Schaub, and you're watching MMA Heat.